Hello and welcome to another office hours session. My name's Nick Carbonaro. You can find me on Twitter at njcarbonaro. You can email me ncarbonaro@lbcc.edu. You can find me at nickcarbonaro.com, or you can subscribe to this YouTube channel. So we are coming down to the last couple weeks of our semester here at Long Beach City College, and so I encourage you, all my students out there, to make sure we are being prepared for our couple last weeks of school. Making sure that everything's turned in on time, making sure that we know when our assignment due dates are, making sure if you have group projects in other classes that you're working diligently on them. But we got 2.5 weeks, right? We have 2 weeks, then we have like 1 day the following week if you're on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And we have graduation on June 6th, so we're coming down to the end. And so today's live stream is going to be a little bit shorter. I'm only going to do about maybe 15-20 minutes of it rather than the whole half hour, just because your time is valuable, my time is valuable, and we just really got to study, prepare for the final exams, prepare for your final group projects. So we'll kind of break it down per class session. So let me get this ready to go over here. I'll get our class sessions going on. But for those that are out there, I hope you had a great weekend. Hope everything was relaxing, great. You took in the sun, right? It's good to get some vitamin D. Get the happy feeling going with the sun out there and stuff like that, getting ready for summer, maybe making plans for summer. Maybe for people that have taken my personal finance class, you know, this whole semester you've been financing yourself, taking tips and stuff from our class and making sure that everything is set up and ready to go. So make sure that we are doing that. Let me get these, I'm getting my syllabi ready, so we'll keep waiting until more people check in. Right now we got about 4 people in here, so as we get more people in, we will I'll discuss a little bit more in depth about certain things. If you haven't already signed up for summer sessions, right? I do have a summer class. It is completely full right now, but they're 2 online sections. If you want to be a part of those, just send me an email. Once I get permission numbers, I haven't received permission numbers yet. Once I receive permission numbers, I will give you a permission number. And then about a week before school starts, I will send you an email. I already sent an email out to everybody that's registered in my summer classes regarding how to prep for the online class. But if you want to, I could definitely send one to you, and you could get prepared for our summer session. So that is what we are doing. I'm teaching 2 GBiz 10 online summer classes. So if you are in GBiz, if you're in my GBiz 5 or social media, those may be a couple things you may want to look out for. And like I said, it says it's completely full on our course website. But however, I will make an exception. If you're one of my students, I'll give you a permission code, and you could sign up for the summer. Otherwise, you could wait until fall. Fall semester, I'm teaching 5 courses, 2 sections of social media, 2 sections of personal finance, and then a section of introduction to business. And so I will probably next week we do not have a live stream because of the fact that it's Memorial Day. So note to viewers out there, next Monday there will be no live stream. Campus is closed for Memorial Day. The following Monday will be our very last live stream of the semester. 2 weeks from today will be our final live stream of the semester, and during that time, because we don't have anything to go over for the week, I'm just going to be doing a review session for my classes. And so I'll probably be doing one long continuous view session, and then in the information box I'll probably put the time that I start each class's review for their final on there, so you have something to take away with and that. And so it may be a little bit longer, maybe like an hour one, but hey, it helps you out. So that's that. But the social media class, and I'll post this, and it's already online as well on our school website. But I will post it either on my website, I'll make a YouTube video of the classes that I'm teaching next semester, and everything like that. So we are Monday, Wednesday. You will have a personal finance class at LAC, and I teach social media on LAC's campus back to back starting at 9:30, and then the second class, social media, starts at 11. And then Tuesday, Thursday, I'll teach Introduction to Business 8:50 to 10:15, and then personal finance from 10:35 to 12. So Monday through Thursday during the daytime, you're done before 1 o'clock every day. And then social media we teach at night on PCC campus on Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. So if you're looking for a little bit different vibe because of the fact that we have working professionals in the class, it may be a little bit more beneficial, actually, because we have some people that are in the class that know social media and have worked in it. Some students that have never even touched social media. So you get a wide variety of people over at the PCC Wednesday night class of social media compared to the Tuesday, Thursday on campus. But either section is great. Either section, you learn so much about the platforms and everything like that. So go ahead and try that out. Go ahead and see what works for you. So now that we got a little bit more people in here, I'm just going to go over my course outlines, and I got one thing to say about my personal finance stuff. So before we even start, thank you to those who came out for the Aim for Success event this past Friday. The extra credit, we had a great turnout. I mean, room was packed. We barely had any seats for everybody. So great turnout. We appreciate it. And I know I was offering extra credit, and I posted that extra credit assignment on our announcements page. And I saw some of you there. It was pretty cool to make a face to the name to people that are not only in my online class, but in my other sections as well, that or other business majors as well, so that we kind of get a little face to the name, little know who each other are. But if you did do that, make sure you turn in that write-up. I had a write-up portion and then a sign-in portion. So the sign-in, I'm getting all the roll sheets tomorrow from that sign-in, sign-up. So I will be getting those, and then I'll be matching them with the papers that I receive for the extra credit. So make sure that you either wrote it up and emailed it to me, wrote it up and turned it into me in class, or however you need to get it to me. If you've already turned those into me, don't worry about it. I will be grading those probably on Friday. I'll be inputting all that stuff, and I will notify everybody once those extra credits are out there. So thank you so much for attending that session, and hopefully it was meaningful to you. So let's get started over here. We have the Biz 5 Introduction to Business. As you can see here, it's a very busy last few weeks in class, right? Busy last few weeks in class. So you see week 15 right here. Tomorrow we start our presentations. So when we get into class, we'll do a top hat. Make sure everybody understands the top hat stuff, and then we will get right into our presentations. We will do our presentations. I will grade you in class on those presentations, so make sure we are prepared. If you were in my class, show up a little bit early so that we could put the flash drive in and load up the stuff if it's coming from a cloud or an email and stuff. So make sure those presentations, but the projects are due before class starts. Class starts at 8:50, right? Everybody needs to turn it in. Not everybody needs to turn it in. One person from each group needs to turn in their presentations for the entire group. And so as you can see with our class right here, our Biz 5 class, we don't have any more lecture. We finished it. However, we didn't get through 16. 16 will probably be sprinkled in during this last week of class right here. I'll probably throw in chapter 16 next week. I want you to really focus on those papers, really focus on your presentations, but probably sometime in week 16 I will go over chapter 16. It's very short. I condensed it down for us to really hit the relevant points for our class. But that's that. All the attendance, all the participation, all that stuff gets added up before your final exam. Final exam, you are just coming in, taking a top hat, right? You're not getting any extra credit points for being there. It's just a final exam. So at the end of June 1st, That's a Thursday. So that Friday when I go to my office hours, all the presentations will be inputted, all the attendance points, all that. The only grades outstanding will be this final exam and the evaluation. Those will be the only 2 grades outstanding, and right after your final exam, I'm going to go grade those, put in your evaluation scores, and hopefully by the end of that day or the following day, you have your final grade in class. You should have that ready to go before your final exam. You'll know exactly what you're getting into before your final exam. So that's our Biz 5. That's our introduction to business. And if you have any questions, chat it in the live stream so that everybody can see what it is and know what's going on. So that's what we're going to be doing with Biz 5. Let's see, the other one is Biz 10, our Biz 10 sections. So our Biz 10 sections, we are right here, 523. And you can see we're a little behind, but not really, because I gave ourselves extra timing for these days over here. So we're going to finish chapter 15, start bonds in chapter 16 tomorrow. Finish that up on Thursday, go to 17, and then go to 19. So we got 1, 2, 3 more chapters that we have to do. The evaluation, I will be posting next week. So next week you will have your evaluation that you need to have completed. And I'm debating whether or not to either put it on Top Hat or just give you like a Word document that you have to submit. I think I'm going to do it on Top Hat. So that will be on Monday. That will Tuesday. That'll open up a week before the last day of class. So that will open up then. We'll go over that then. But everything else is inputted. The only outstanding grades you have are participation, attendance, final exam, and evaluation. And if you're looking how I'm doing the attendance and participation, those are each separate categories, right? If you go back and look at the syllabus, I think participation is worth 10% and attendance is worth 5%. Whatever your columns say on your Top Hat, that's what the grade that you're going to get for the attendance and the participation. Now, if you're coming to me and saying, oh, Mr. C, I was in class, but I didn't get the attendance code, or I forgot to plug in the attendance code, that's not on me. That's on you. You have to show up on time. You have to make sure that attendance code is there so that you get the most possible points that they can be. That's the only way that I'm able to measure whether you're on time, whether you're there in class participating. So if that's an issue for you, then you got to fix that issue and make sure the next couple weeks, the next couple class sessions, we only got 4 more class sessions left. And so once we're done with those class sessions, there's no more asking for anything. So that's what we're doing for our Biz 10. Lastly, Biz 25, social media. The sections are a little bit off because the way that we did the YouTube presentations for one class versus another class. So for my Tuesday, Thursday class, you will be working on your websites tomorrow. For Tuesday and Thursday. This whole week we're going to be working on websites, making sure that the formatting's correct, making sure that all links link up, making sure that it looks like a nice, clean website that you can go on job interviews, that you can differentiate yourself in the marketplace. Doing that this week. We are having our test on our final exam, I believe, is going to be on the 1st. No, final exam will be on the 30th. Presentations will be on the 1st and the 6th, I believe. Let me check real quick. Presentations will be on the 30th and the 1st, so we're right here. So the presentations will be on, and let me minimize this out so we have this full screen. Presentations we will be working on our presentations here and here. Presentations will be on the 30th and the 1st. Final exam will be on the 6th. Okay, so let me repeat that again for my Tuesday, Thursday class. Tomorrow and Thursday, 23 and 25, we will be going and doing our websites. You will be working on your websites in class. If you need any help me and Miss Medunari, we're going to be there for you, right? You could ask us any questions. You get all that out of the way. 23rd, 25th. On the 30th and the 1st, you are presenting those websites in class. You will be presenting those in class. On the 6th, which is our last day of school, June 6th, that is when you will take your final exam. So that's for my Tuesday, Thursday class. For my Wednesday class, we have 3 class sections left, right? So tomorrow, or on Wednesday, we will be going over Snapchat, right? We did Instagram last class. We will be going over Snapchat. We'll be going over parts of Instagram and then Snapchat. We're going to hit back on Instagram again because it's had so many changes. It's so much more prevalent than what it used to be. I mean, the users growing exponentially. And so we will be talking about Instagram and Snapchat on Wednesday. We will be taking our final exam on the 31st, which you will get a study guide for sometime this week. Final exam and working on your websites on the 31st. You'll be working on those websites on the 31st. And then on the 7th, you will be presenting those websites. So this class does a little bit differently just because the way that the class is framed. We only meet once a week. So again, Instagram, Snapchat, 24th, 31st, we have our final exam, and then the rest of the class you're going to be working on your websites, and me and Miss Rosio, we're going to be around helping you out, and if you need any help with anything, we'll help you out with that. Then on the 7th, the very last day of class, we're going to just come in, do our presentations of our websites. By the end of the class, you should be able to see your grade. I think me and Miss Rosio, we will be hanging around after class to make sure that, you know, we grade everything, make sure that all the grades are submitted and stuff. So that's how we're going. That is how we're going. And so the people that are still out there watching this live stream, any questions on your part? Any questions on your part? Chat them in, because in about 10 seconds, I'm going to switch gears and talk to my finance class for a little bit, my personal finance class. All right. Personal finance. And, you know, we could say social media as well. We could talk about social media. Sorry, I might have missed this, but how long will the final for GBiz 10 will be open for online? So, Caesar, your GBiz 10 final exam, that opens up during the last week of school. So, on June 5th, I believe. June 5th, I believe, is when it will open up. Let me see real quick. Let me open this up real quick. Give me just 1 second, and I'll figure it out. I'm sorry, on June 4th, the week of May 29th. On May 29, your final exam will open up. On May 29, your final exam will open up on your Pearson MyLab and Mastering. The final exam study guide is already posted under course resources on our LMS page. And then on June 4th, all work is due on June 4th. And your final exam will open up on that May 29th. So May 29th to June 4th. And during that week, during week 16, all we have is one chapter, chapter 19, plus the final exam stuff. So it'll be May 9th to June 4th, and it'll be due that Sunday. So hopefully that answers your question. Hopefully that answers your question. All right. So it's at like the 20-minute mark. Any other questions? I will start the next topic at 21 and just go like another 4 minutes. Not so much. So any other questions before we move on? All right. So there is always a couple things that I get when I teach personal finance. Not so much personal finance. My personal finance classes, usually are just kind of focused on money and focused on that type of stuff. But, occasionally we venture off into other topics and stuff like that. And then my social media class, which is completely different, and my introduction to business class, which are completely different. We talk more about current events. We talk more about things that are going on. But one thing that hit, actually, I saw it today. It regards personal finance, but it kind of mixes in stuff that we've talked about in my social media class, is this concept of fake news, right? Hashtag fake news. And so the concept that, right after the election, the media tried to frame, because they were wrong on everything, they tried to frame the conversation saying, no, it wasn't because Trump was good at what he did, or it wasn't because the people were pissed off at stuff, or it wasn't because Hillary decided not to campaign in must-win states, or an FBI investigation was going on, or no, couldn't have been any of that stuff. It had to have been trolls online making up fake stuff and people believing it, right? Which undercuts everything that's been going on. And in our social media class, we talk about that and whatever. But one of the things that even the president has said and everything is labeling certain news organizations fake news. And so the funny thing was, it happened today. Somebody tweeted it out. I believe it was Mike Cernovich tweeted out about Bitcoin, right? And so my personal finance class, we just got done doing stocks. We just got done learning about stocks and bonds in my online class and talking about different types of stocks. So for my personal finance in class, what we do is I tell my students to pick 5 stocks, write them down at the beginning of the year, and then we come back to it, 16 weeks later, and we calculate the return on investment, right? The ROI, return on that investment, rate of return. And we find out that rate of return. And one of my students had Bitcoin, right? One of my students decided to purchase Bitcoin as one of the 5 different types of securities that he decided to put into his portfolio. And so the funny thing was, it's all over the finance news today and stuff, but let me show you this monitor, right? Let me show you this monitor right here. So this right here is Bitcoin, right? This right here shows the growth of Bitcoin. And if you can't see that, let me zoom in for you. On, what does that say? April 29th. Let's go all the way down to January 15, right? January 15th of 2016, Bitcoin was trading at $388.50. Today, it took a huge boom. It went like $200 in one day. It's doubled since May. Ridiculous. Look at that. Right here, we're at March 2017, 964. Right here, we're at April 28th, 1367, 1587. And then today, you can see the price of Bitcoin went up 461%, and it's trading at $2,251 US dollars, meaning this: one Bitcoin is equal to around $22.50 US dollars currency, right? If you bought Bitcoin, if you bought $100 of Bitcoin 7 years ago, you'd be sitting on $75 million. That's ridiculous, right? $100 7 years ago, you'd be sitting on 75 million. Bitcoin jumps $200 in a single day and has nearly doubled. Why Bitcoin is surging. Again, up 130% this year, right? So it may be reaching a bubble. It may be going up. But at the same time, this is what was posted on Washington Post at the time that it was trading at $388.50. RIP Bitcoin, it's time to move on, right? By this guy named Vivek Wadhwa. You could find him on Twitter. He's very defending about his fake news, but January 19th of 2016 at 6:45 a.m. And if we go back here, January 29th of 2016, January 19th, I mean, it was trading somewhere between $388 and $387.50, right? I mean, $388, let's say. And he said, RIP Bitcoin, it's time to move on, right? Of course, Washington Post has democracy dies in darkness. They should say their financial section dies in darkness, because they probably, if people listen to this, they've lost a lot of money, right? They lost a lot of money. So not long ago, venture capitalists were talking about how Bitcoin was going to transform the global currency system and render governments powerless to policy monetary transactions, right? So what it is digital currency that's not based out of a certain country, right? So all currency, you have the US dollar, it's United States, the British pound backed by Britain, the euro backed by the European Union, so on and so forth, Japanese yen, Mexican peso, Canadian dollar, all these different things. Bitcoin is different because it's a digital currency that's not backed by any country. So what they're saying is that Bitcoin will ultimately at one point render government dollars useless because and have one global currency, so that everybody's on the same even playing field with their money and stuff like that. So and he goes through this whole thing, right? In Venezuela, citizens wish to buy anything of value on supermarket shelves wait all day in lines to do so because hyperinflation causes the paper currencies in their pocket to lose significant value. We talk about this in our personal finance class, the value of inflation, the rate of return, all this type of stuff. So basically what I'm saying is this, right? This is the end result of it, right? This is what I'm trying to get to when we're saying about this. At the end of the day, it is only you investing, right? It's not your mama, it's not your dad, it's not your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles, your teachers, your friends, your relatives, your dog, your cat. It is you. You are the sole investor, right? And people are always going to have an opinion. Just the nature of it, right? You're going to have Washington Post saying, rest in peace, Bitcoin, it's time to move on. You're going to have your friends saying, no, buy that. What are you doing stupid for? You're going to have other people so high on Bitcoin saying, oh, no, don't matter. Put all in, right? I mean, you're going to get bombarded with so many investment opportunities, right? And you see Bitcoin and it's there, right? And so, hindsight's always 2020. You kind of look back and say, "Oh my gosh, well, if I only knew, I would put $100 7 years." Yeah, but if only you knew, right? I mean, that's the difference. If only you knew. And so, when we're talking about this, what I'm basically saying is, make sure you do your own research. Make sure you take the proper steps, the proper classes. Make sure you if you are going to listen to somebody, listen to the right person. Maybe not some Washington Post writer that doesn't really know what's going on. I mean, he wrote a year and a half ago, RIP Bitcoin, and it's now trading at $2,200. So compared to $387 when he wrote that article. So it all comes down to you. You are the investor. Make sure that you know your information. Nobody's going to bail you out. Nobody's going to say, okay, I'll help you out with that. It is you're investing. However, if you do start investing, make sure you're smart about it. If you have a lot of debt already, it may be more wise for you to pay off that debt first than it would be to invest that money. You could do a lot more investing when you have money power, right? When you have the power of money behind you. If you're paying debt off, you don't have that power of money. So make sure that we're doing that. And so that's what I kind of want to point out to you, some current events that are going on today regarding Bitcoin, regarding finance, regarding fake news, regarding all that type of stuff. So I'll wrap this up. You could reach me at njcarbonaro on Twitter. You could email me, ncarbonaro@lbcc.edu. Find me, nickcarbonaro.com. If you have any questions regarding, your final exam, anything like that, hit me up, right? I'm in my office for another hour. This is a live stream, so I'm in my office for another hour. It's 6:05 right now, Pacific Standard Time. I'm here till 7. So if you have any questions, you can call me. This will be the only time that I'm near my phone. But please, please, please stay focused, stay sharp. We've got 2 weeks left. That's all we have, right? And then we have summer break. We get to go by the pool and we get to go do other stuff, right? Instead of having to study. So make sure we're utilizing our time. But other than that, have a great week, and good luck on any projects that you have this week. And if you need any help with anything, email me, let me know. All right, have a great week.